Shalom unto the elect of the nation of Israel, which will consider the 144,000 and the 1/3. That's a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American descent by the seed of thy father. And furthermore, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Chodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of a great millstone that teach and that rule well today. And salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that's in the faith that's scattered worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Shalom. So basically, I'm just going to get into a lesson going into when it comes to salvation, okay, who it pertains to, okay, as we are coming to the time of Yahweh Shai, who the world called Christ, second coming, okay, because contrary to popular belief, when it comes to the Bible, mainly through the religion or the false doctrine of Christianity, okay, as this world has, uphold when it comes to the so-called standard, when it comes to God and His Son, that they're dealing with all nations, that any nation can be saved, okay, at this time, okay, but which that's ignorance for people that don't know the Bible, okay, because when we come to the understanding, us that's in the faith, which happen to be Israelites of Negro, Latino, and Native American descent, we come to the understanding that the Bible only contains one chosen nation that Yahweh Basham Shai chose unto Himself. And that's us, the Israelites, man. Not all nations. Okay? And when it comes to the old covenant and the new covenant, it both pertain only for Israel. Once again, what's happening to be the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American descent out of that bloodline by the seed of your father. Okay? Because here at Great Millstone, we always go into as well that you're going to have Israelites looking like other nations. Okay? But if their bloodline doesn't go back to Negro, Latino, and Native, or if their bloodline, if their bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, and Native American descent, they are Israelites. Doesn't matter their physical look. And it's all through the spirit at this time as well, as we're scattered amongst all nations. Okay, as one of the curses that Yahweh Basham Shai put upon the nation of Israel. So you have Israel scattered amongst all nations to the point you're going to have other nations, or you're going to have Israelites looking like other nations. But the original nations, the original Gentiles, the heathens, okay, they're going to go into captivity. Okay, that's their future. Because the promise wasn't given to all nations. The promise was only given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's what I'm going to start at here in this chapter, Psalms 105 or 105. Okay, starting at verse 5. Okay, because contrary to popular belief, okay, Yahweh Basham Shai, who the world calls God, His name is Yahweh in the Hebrew, meaning He is or He exists. In His Son, who the world called Christ, His name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew as well, meaning He is the deliverer. And Yahweh Basham Shai is only dealing with one nation. And it was like that ever since Genesis, all the way to now, as we living out the prophecies of Revelation, okay, end time prophecy. When it comes to salvation and who it contains, okay. And we're about to come into some time of some, great judgment, okay, especially to this place, America, which is known as Babylon the Great, because eventually this place, America, is going to be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear fire. And that's why you're seeing Yahweh Basham Shai raising up the prophets to give them warning about repentance, okay, to you Israelites, you Negro, Latino, Native Americans, to come back and acknowledge your sins, acknowledge Yahweh Basham Shai, your power, your inheritance, the prophecies. And we also here to give the judgment, the coming judgment of the heathen nations, starting with the biblical Edomites, which is the so-called white race, mainly the elites, okay, which is known as the wicked, okay, and their future is going to be captivity in our kingdom once Yahushua established the kingdom of Israel. So I'm going to start off with Psalms chapter 105, verse 5, and it says, remember his marvelous works that he have done, his wonders, and the judgments of his mouth, okay? And we remember that by what? The prophets. And what's written in the scriptures, what contained in the scriptures today, that has been given unto the prophets, okay? When it comes to the elect, that hopeful number that we pray that we part of. And that's why you see us starting with our apostles, elders, bishops, and the brethren on down, out there on the highways and byways, okay? Even the other Israelite camps outside the Great Millstone. Even though a lot of these other camps, they go off in the doctrine, okay? But the main thing they push is Israel, okay? And it says, verse 6, O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, Salak, it's Satan. I'll update that later. Psalms chapter 105, verse 6, O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. It says no other nation, man. It says the children of Jacob, okay? And it says they came from what? Abraham, Isaac, okay? Jacob and Israel, as it's going to continue on. It says, here's the Lord of our God. His judgment are in all the earth. Yeah, because although the Lord created all these nations, he only chose one. And that's coming from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 patriarchs, okay, of Israel. And it says, he is the Lord our God. His judgment are in all the earth. Ye have remembered his covenant forever. Okay. And the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. So that's everlasting. Okay. which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. Okay. And that's only Israel. Okay. Not all nations. So let me get this. With that Psalms. Because the law, statute, commandments, by the way of Moses, the lawgiver, out of the time of the Exodus of Egypt, and during the time that we was in the the wilderness after that great deliverance, Yahweh Shema Shai gave the ordinance to Moses to give to Israel at that time, okay, which happened to be the old covenant, but the new covenant stands today as well for Israel, okay, because he's not dealing with all nations, just as back then out of the time of Egypt. This is Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. And it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgment, as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Yeah, because these other nations don't know Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, because the Lord is only dealing with Israel. When it comes to these other nations, okay, they're serving false gods or idols. Okay, which in this time, 2/3, okay, according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8 of our people, okay, are following along. Okay, when it comes to these hedonistic customs, these false gods, these different sets of religions, okay, idol worship, and them not serving Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, what our people are following today, when it comes to these false gods and idols, are hedonistic customs of these other nations. Okay, the Lord gave these other nations that type of worship, okay, which is vanity. Okay, we're supposed to worship the true living power, Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's that covenant that the Lord made with us, man. Okay, when it comes to the Israelites, it says he had not dealt so with any nation. Okay, let me get this real quick. Well, that's Amos or Joel. Let me see. It might be Joel. It's Amos, then. Amos. Let me get that. Let me see. Here we go. Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Yeah. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua only gave that covenant to us, the Israelites. And when you read into Deuteronomy chapter 28, starting at the first verse, 1 through 15, it gave us the agreement of the covenant, keeping the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, that the Lord was going to bless us. Okay, how we're going to be set above all nations. Okay, but it came upon the time we went against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And when you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 16 all the way through 68, that's when the Lord pronounced the curses upon us, man. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in now. Okay, going through our different previous captivities in history. Okay, and there's no different today as we're in captivity, mainly here in America, being ruled by the biblical Edomites. Okay, through this American system. Okay, and only Yahweh Shai is going to liberate us from these curses. Okay, starting with the hopeful elect. Okay, and that's why I trust lying. And Yahweh Shai is going to be the one that's going to enter or introduce the new covenant. Okay, once the electors beam up into those chariots, okay, what the world call UFOs, the angels, the vehicles of the angels, and Yahweh Shai returned at the peak of the Third World War and delivered the elect from out of that destruction from those missiles. Okay, and the new covenant goes into how the law, statutes, commandments going to be in our inward part. Okay, and also our body is going to be changed from mortal to being immortality, and we're going to be righteous forevermore. And from there on out, when the time comes, we're going to rule here on the earth. Okay, Revelation chapter 21 goes into that. The new heaven and the new earth, meaning new dominance or dominion here on the earth. Okay, in our land, in the land of Israel, which, by the way, that land going to be destroyed because the people over there are not the true inheritors. Okay, they are phonies. Okay, when it comes to the tribe of Esau, Edom, Amalek, the small hats, as we call them today. And that land is going to be destroyed by fire just for it to be built back up by us, the rightful owners. Okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay, so the Lord, and like I said, in that process of time, these heathen nations, they're going to go into captivity. Starting with these elites that's going to escape the damnation from those missiles as they're going to be in their retreats. Okay, just to be reserved for captivity. So this is another scripture proving that the Lord said that we are only his chosen people. Okay, Amos 3 and on 2. Okay, let me see. Now let me go to Romans 9. Okay, go to the New Testament for these Christians and even certain Israelites that's saying that all nations can be saved. Okay, let's see what the covenants pertain to. Romans chapter 9. We just not read in Psalms 105 how the Lord made that everlasting covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, which ultimately is Israel. And this right here back it up. Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Yahweh Shai, I lie not. My conscience also bear me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. Okay, and this is Paul, by the way. Okay, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Yahweh Shai for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Okay, so it says according to the flesh. Okay, meaning the bloodline. Okay, verse 4, who are Israelites. Okay, it says who are Israelites. And Paul was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, matter of fact, let me go over a little bit more. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai cast away his people? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai forbid. So the Lord didn't done away with the nation of Israel. Okay, it just was a point in time that we fell from our heritage. Okay, and that's what Jeremiah. Let me get that real quick because I don't want to misquote it. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. And that's going back to that covenant, the old covenant. Okay, when we break it, the Lord punishes us, okay, by putting us under the curses. And one of the curses, the Lord putting us under subject under our enemies. Okay, starting with Esau, Edom at this time. Okay, and through the point of time here in America, we discontinue from our heritage, not knowing that we are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, going by these false names, these corporation names that Esau, Edom label upon us, calling us blacks, Negroes, African American, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Haitians, okay, Cubans, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Colombians, okay, Argentinas, you know, these false names that they label upon us. Because when it came upon the time we discontinued for our heritage for being disobedient against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, but now we coming to the point Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to have mercy upon Israel. Okay, matter of fact, let me get that. You know, cause I got a couple of scriptures written down, but now, you know, the Spirit is feeding me. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. Okay, so the Lord going to have mercy upon Israel, and yet choose what? Jacob, okay, which is Israel, and set them in their own land. And eventually that's going to take place when Yahweh shall return and establish the kingdom after the salvation. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the strangers represent the Israelite foreigners, okay, not the other nations, the Israelite foreigners, okay, that's going to cleave back into the inheritance, okay, that we're Israelites. And all of us was once, one point in time, strangers, not knowing who we were, okay, being in a Gentile state of mind at these other nations, going after these hedonistic customs of these other nations, man, okay. So when it says the strangers shall be joined with them, they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob, that's going into the Israelites, okay, that's going to come back and acknowledge their heritage in this time, okay. Matter of fact, let me see something. That from earlier. And I'm going to go to the Blue Letter Bible. And I'm going to look up that word stranger. And that's why it's important, okay, to go into the Blue Letter, as our apostles here at Great Millstone, okay, they form us to do, to go into the Hebrew, Greek, to get better understanding etymology or the root words, okay, or what's written. Because we understand that the King James English version has been translated from out of the Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. So let's go to that word stranger there in the Hebrew. Okay, let's see. I'm going to let him pronounce it.
Strong's H1616. Gar.
Okay.
And the form just below that, Geir.
Okay, Gar or Goshen. Okay, in the Hebrew. So let's see the strong definition. It says sojourner, a temporary inhabitor, a newcomer lacking inherited rights, or definition B, or foreigners in Israel, though concede rights. Okay, Israelites, man. Okay, that's what it's going into. Okay, so all us were once strangers, but now we come back to our inheritance as Israelites. So it says what? For the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. Okay, and the strangers, okay, Israelites, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay, come back into the truth, back into our inheritance at this time. Okay, starting here in America, And worldwide, that you don't have Israelites waking up courtesy through the ministry being pushed on the internet. Okay, so that's it on that. Let me go back to so I read Jeremiah as we discontinue from my heritage. Now let me go back to Romans. Okay, going to how Paul, okay, say that the Lord didn't cast away his people. Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai cast away his people? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai forbid, meaning no. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. And Benjamin is one of the southern kingdom, okay, the tribes, which happen to be the so-called Jamaicans today, or West Indians. Okay, but he said he was from the tribe of Benjamin, one of the tribe of Israel. So let's go back to Romans chapter 9, verse 3. And it says, For I could wish that myself were accursed from Yahushai for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. Okay, and Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, a Hebrew Israelite. And it says, who are Israelites, to whom pertain the adoption, the glory, the covenants. Okay, the covenants mean plural. Okay, meaning the old covenant and the new covenant. Okay, for Israel. And the giving of the law and the service of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, and the promises. Okay, and the promises. So that's all for Israel, man. No other nation. And we read that earlier in Psalms 147, chapter 19 and 20. Okay? So the Lord not concerned about these other nations when it comes to salvation. Okay, they're going to be judged. And it's always been like that since the beginning. The Lord set us up above all nations. Let me get Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. And it says, For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Okay, and the word holy means separate. Okay, sanctified, separate. And what make us separate? Okay, first of all, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua chosen us, and the covenant that he made with us, okay, when it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments. And no other nation was involved in it. Okay, not back then when it comes to the old covenant, and not now when it comes to the appearing of the new covenant. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? And that still stands to this day, man. Well, that's let me see, Micah. Let me see. What that's Micah, might be Malachi. When the Lord said he changed not. Yeah, here we go. Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Okay, so the Lord doesn't change, man. He's only for Israel, okay, at this time. No other nation. Matter of fact, let me go back to Deuteronomy. Because they'll make the statement, these Christians, that, okay, yeah, we know about the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the chosen, but when it comes to all nations, we all came from Adam, brother. All of us came from Adam, okay? Which we know Adam, you know, when it came to the time of Adam, and when Adam fell, that you had Noah that came from the direct bloodline of Adam, okay? And after the flood, Noah had 3 sons, okay? Shem, Ham, and Japheth, okay? And all nations was repopulated out of Noah's 3 sons, okay? Which only 8 people were saved at that time, okay? Noah, his wife, and Noah's 3 sons and their wife make a total of 8. And through Noah's 3 sons, this is where you have the nations today, okay? But the Lord chosen one nation, okay, from Noah when it came to his 3 sons, and that's from the bloodline of Shem, okay, which happened to be from the bloodline of Abraham, which Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob extended from the bloodline of Shem, okay, which we know the Hamites today are the original Africans, okay, such as the Egyptians, okay, the Ethiopians, the South Africans, and the North Africans. Okay, you can read up on that history or about that information in the compact Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and just look up the term Ham, and they're gonna tell you, okay, that Ham was the forefather, okay, of the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the North Africans, the South Africans. Then it goes to the point that says not the Negroes, okay, because the Negroes stand out of the bloodline of Shem, okay, when it comes from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay, Israel, okay, the Negroes came from out of the tribe of Judah, which happened to be the head tribe today, okay, and all the rest of the Israelites. And you got the sons of Japheth, okay, Noah's 3rd son, which are the Hawaiians today, the Samoans, okay, the Aboriginals, okay, those that's over there, those Pacific Islands, okay. So the Lord brought that division, and you have other nations of Shem too, that came from out of Abraham, just such as Esau, that came from out of the bloodline of the son of Isaac, okay, Jacob twin brother. But Esau is known as the wicked, and he wasn't chosen. Okay, Ishmael, one of the sons of Abraham, which are the Arabs today, they're not the chosen. Elam, which came out of the bloodline of Shem, which are the so-called Persians or East Indian, okay, or India today, okay. The Chinese, the Japanese, which go back to the sons of Lot, Moab and Ammon and Moab, okay. They're Hebrews, but they're not the chosen, okay. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7. And it says, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. Okay, and we're getting that now in the form of our apostles and elders, okay, showing us the truth about our forefathers, of who we are today. And when it comes to these other nations, who they are. Okay, verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, and when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Okay, so this right here proves that the Lord separated the sons of Adam, as I went through a brief, example of the nations. How the Lord separate the nations. And these other nations are insignificant, man. Let me get a precept to back Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7 and 9, okay? And that's what our second Esdras, second Esdras chapter 6, verse 54. And it says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all creatures, of him come we all. And I made an example of that. All nations extended out of Adam when it came to the time of Noah. Okay, because Noah was a direct descendant from Adam. Okay, during the time of the flood. Okay, and Noah had the 3 sons, as I explained, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, and to this day, okay, from that time to this day, you have all nations that was progenerated out of all those 3 men. And it says, or Noah 3 sons. And it says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake, okay, the chosen, Israelite, okay, for our sake. As for the other people, which also came of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. Okay, the Lord said they are nothing, insignificant. Okay, eventually they were created to be our servants. But right now we are on the bottom, and the Lord put them over us due to our disobedience. But now it's going to be a transition of power and a role reversal, because all these nations are going to go into captivity in our kingdom. Start with Esau, Edom. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 30, verses 16 and 17 explain that. Okay, and it says, Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Okay, so meaning they are insignificant. Okay, because it was made for our sake. Okay, to be our servants. And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. Okay, let me get another scripture to back that up. That's Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. And it says, Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15, Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of a balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. So the Lord, once again, this is a scripture right here proving that these the nations are insignificant. Okay, they was only created for two reasons, mainly to be our servants up under us. But due to our disobedience, the Lord set them up to punish us, starting with Esau, Edom. Okay, and really for prophecy's sake. Okay, but they were created to be beneath us, man. Okay, to be below us, man, and that we're going to be superior over them. Okay, and it says, Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of a balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. Okay, meaning that ain't no salvation for these other nations, man. No matter how much they're trying to cry out, it doesn't matter how much they believe in Christianity, that all nations can be accepted. Okay, all these Israelite false prophets or leaders saying that all nations can make it. Okay, they ain't gonna make it. Okay, and it's always been like that since the beginning. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 17. All nations before him, and who's to him? Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the Heavenly Father and the Son. Okay, and including us that's in this faith, they have a king mentality, a ruling class mentality. And it says, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are accounted to him less than nothing, and vanity. Okay, so they're nothing. They're insignificant, man. And they're going to find that out real soon once Yahweh Shem Yahushua destroy all these nations' empires. Okay, starting with Esau, Edom. And they're going to be chained up. Okay, thrown in captivity. They're going to have to be our servants for 1,000 years. And after that 1,000-year period, the only nation that's going to be done away with are the Edomites. Okay, Obadiah 1 and 18. Okay, and the heathen nations that remain at that time, they're going to still be servitude unto us, because our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom. And we're going to be on the level of superior dominance, man. Okay, we're going to be immortal. Okay, that's going to be our inheritance, being immortal, being gods here on the earth, which Israel, meaning he prince of God. Okay, he prince of power. Okay, we're going to have superhuman capability, spiritual power, when it comes to the men. Okay, and we're going to rule over these other nations. Okay, being immortal, that's going to be the new covenant for us, man. Okay, and these other nations, they don't have no part in that. Therefore, they're going to be mortal. They're going to have they ain't going to have no ability to live forever. Okay, they're going to live and die. Okay, and you have to come back through reincarnation to serve us forever. Okay, and that's the purpose of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Like I say, the only nation that's going to be done away with are the Edomites. So that's it on that. Let me see. So let's go to the I'll finish off with Hebrews 8 and 6. And it says, Hebrews 8 and 6, but now have he attained more excellent ministry, but how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant. And this is Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because Yahweh Shah brought us back into the good graces of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Okay, starting with the elect. Okay, the 2/3 going to have to come back in the kingdom, being the sons and daughters of the elect. Okay, meaning it's going to be procreation in the kingdom. Okay, or layman's term, if people can't get it, sex. Okay, and it says, and there's other nations too, they're going to have to bring back their offspring, or those that die on the side, to be servants. Okay, when it comes to the heathen nations that remain after the destruction, man, and they're going to be servants. And it says, but how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. Okay, there go them promise again, that we read in Romans chapter 9, starting at verse 1. Okay, who contained the promises, which were Israelites. They're going to furthermore expound. Verse 7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. Okay, the first covenant represent the old covenant during the time of Moses, the law given. Okay, which we exalt the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, we tell our people, okay, that yes, we do keep the law, statutes, commandments, but to the best of our ability, as we on the mercy of Yahweh Shema Shai by grace. Okay, and it's ultimately our faith that's going to show our works towards Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, our belief. And part of our belief is to keep the law, statutes, commandments, to keep guiding us in the right way, to serving Yahweh Shema Shai. Although we're not going to be justified by these laws, man. Okay, it's just through grace and through rehearsing the righteous acts, man. But ultimately, Yahweh Shai is going to introduce the law, statutes, commandments of the new covenant in our inward part as it's going to continue on. And it says, verse 8, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. And the word new, when you really go into it, is refresh. Okay, the law, statutes, commandments that we are supposed to keep in the old covenant is going to be refreshed by it being put in our inward parts. Okay, in our mind, in our spirit. And it says, and I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. It didn't say no other nation. It said the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. The 12 tribes of Israel. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. And because of, we read earlier, Amos 3, okay, you only have I known, okay, the family that I brought up from out of Egypt, okay, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regard them not, say the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, after the days of what? When Yahweh shall return and deliver the elect, okay, starting with the men, okay, and our body's going to be changed, okay, us or the whole elect will be beamed up into those chariots, and therefore the new covenant is going to be in our inward parts, okay, when it comes to the elect men, women, and the children that are going to be saved at that time. And forevermore, we're going to be righteous. And when the 2/3 come back in the kingdom, they're going to inherit the new covenant, okay, by being the offspring of the elect, okay. So we're not in the new covenant right now, as you got some Israelites out there claiming that we're in the new covenant. Okay, in order for us to be in the new covenant, the law, statutes, commandments got to be in our inward part, and our bodies, first of all, got to be changed from mortal to immortality. Okay, because transgression, the laws is sin, which is death. Okay, that's why we need this corrupt flesh due to our disobedience. Okay, and our sins. But then, if we're in the new covenant, we'll sin no more, and we'll be immortal. Okay, proving that we're still transgress as we're in this grace period, and we're looking for Yahweh Shah to redeem us. The issue in the new covenant after those days, okay, after the deliverance, and it says, first, for this is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after those days, say the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. They didn't say all nations, okay? And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. So if we're in the new covenant, we wouldn't have no purpose to go out there and teach our people about the 12 tribe chart, okay, who they are, to come back and wake up to their true heritage as Israelites. Coming back, acknowledging their true power. Okay, being Yahweh. And the son name being Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because in the kingdom, our people going to know who they are. And know everything. Okay? And it says, continue on, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that he said, a new covenant he made, the first old. Now that which is decayed and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. And we're in that purpose, we're in that time now. Okay? Yahweh Shai coming back to introduce the new covenant when it comes to the salvation, man. Okay? So I'll go ahead and end the lesson here. And I pray that the lesson be edifying. Until the next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.